See, spending has no hope attached to it. There's no hope attached to taking your money and blowing it at Applebee's. I mean, you know for sure that money's gone. But at least with investing, there's hope. There's this chance. Maybe that $1,000 stock is gonna become an Nvidia or an Apple or something like that. Maybe that thousand will turn into 1,400, 1,500, 2,000. You're giving life to your money. You are fertilizing the plant, right? You're planting a seed. The seed may not grow, but you can't grow a seed if you don't plant any. And so whenever you run into somebody, we tend to get the most financial advice from our broke relatives. Our broke relatives are the ones who give us the most financial advice. Tell me if I'm lying. And when you're getting financial advice from broke relatives, I want you to, and then they tell you how broke they are. I want you to simply observe. You can't ask them because they're going to get mad, but I want you to observe and ask yourself, how many seeds did this person plant? And then when you understand that they didn't plant any seeds, then you'll also understand why they have no harvest. You see, there's no farmer in history crazy enough to believe he could have a harvest when he planted no seeds. Am I right? Or am I right? But we have people all over the place that say, I don't have any money. I don't have any opportunities. I don't have any. And I'm not making fun of these individuals at all, because unfortunately they were tricked. They were tricked by society, because society tricks you. It makes us, if you're not conscious, it makes us just stupid sometimes. It makes us do, or better yet, it makes us do stupid things. So a lot of times it's fascinating to me when you see people that say, I have no harvest, but then it's like, well, where'd you plant your seeds? So maybe what they're hoping for is that they can get a harvest from someone else's seeds. Like maybe their boss planted a seed, built a business, and they're hoping someone will come hire them and allow them to live off the business that was created by someone else. And there's nothing wrong with that. I get that. So, but that's a very vulnerable, frightening place to live. So what I would say to you is, this is very basic. Remember, most of finance comes out of biology. Most of the equations, the high level mathematics that we did in finance, are literally equations that are stolen right out of biology. Everything's taken from biology. We're like Dr. Dre with music. Anybody ever seen this? I put this up on my Twitter. My Twitter is Dr. Boyce Watkins 1. Sometimes I say, just if you follow me on Twitter, just be prepared. I say off the wall stuff. I say whatever's on my mind. I observe the world and talk about it because I'm part of the world, and I'm not just a finance professor who happens to be black. I'm a black man who happens to be a finance professor. So I saw this video where they showed Dr. Dre's music, and they played all these really famous beats, all these really famous songs that he had, going all the way back to the Chronic. If you're a hip hop fan, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not, I'll just explain it. You'll get it. And every single beat that I loved, that I've known about for 20 or 30 years, was stolen. Well, not stolen, sorry, sampled. They call it sampling. You know, yeah. Anyway, so here's the thing. I'm assuming Dr. Dre paid somebody money to use the beat. I'm sure it was done all legit, above board, all that stuff. But it really kind of diminished my view of the music, because I said, here I spent all this time thinking that Dr. Dre was this creative genius, and he was just borrowing all this, borrowing these beats from all these other people. And so it's interesting because it's kind of funny, because I don't even remember exactly why I brought up the Dr. Dre thing. Maybe it's because it was on my mind. I know it is, because I was telling you about the quirky stuff I talk about on Twitter. But it kind of just made me think about how sometimes things are not what they seem, right? And a lot of times the solutions are easier than you think. And I'll tell, and I know hip hop. I know that they sample all the time, and I totally get it. But I kind of think that there's a difference between someone who samples a lot versus someone who sits there and comes up with the original creative idea, right? But then again, though, the interesting thing, now that you want to parallel this to business, is that maybe one way to sort of take that quirky Dr. Dre conversation that I just shared with you and apply it to business is to understand something. And this is actually going into our slides today. So there's a connection here, in that a lot of people think that in order to own a business, you have to create a business and run a business, right? They think that in order to be a business owner, you have to sit down, come up with the idea, make an investment, figure out the business model, and figure out how to make money.